Hello, my sweet students. I hope you guys are having a marvelous Monday. As you guys know, our classes on the computer start today, so I'm really excited about that. But there's one thing that I'm really missing from school. I don't know if you guys are missing it, but my favorite part of the day when we're at school is when we're doing our read aloud. So we know that we've been reading the Percy Jackson series, but I'm going to put a pause on that one. We can start it, if we go back to school this year or next year, we can start it again. But I'm going to put a pause on that one, and I'm going to do a new book series that you guys might have read before. They are the Magic Treehouse series. They're really, really cool, and I'm really excited to share them with you. So we are going to be reading one chapter a day. I'm going to be sending you guys a video on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays. So I'm not going to read on the weekends, but during the week, you're going to get one. Actually, I think I'm going to do 2 chapters a day. I'm feeling crazy. Let's do 2 chapters a day, okay? So, this first book is Dinosaurs Before Dark by Mary Pope Osborne. She is the author. Think to your head, who's the author? What does the author do? I'll come back to that. Chapter 1, Into the Woods. Oh, a monster, said Annie. Yeah, sure, said Jack. A real monster in Frog Creek, Pennsylvania. Run, Jack, said Annie. She ran up the road. Oh, brother. This is what he got for spending time with his 7-year-old sister. Annie loved pretend stuff, but Jack was 8.5. He liked real things. Watch out, Jack. The monster's coming. I'll race ya. No thanks, said Jack. Annie raced alone into the woods. Jack looked at the sky. The sun was about to set. Come on, Annie. It's time to go home. But Annie had disappeared. Jack waited, and no Annie. Annie, he shouted again. Jack, come here. Jack groaned. Ugh, this better be good, he said. Jack left the road and headed into the woods. The trees were lit with a golden late afternoon light. Come here, called Annie. There she was, standing under a tall oak tree. Look, she said. She was pointing at a rope ladder. It was the longest rope ladder Jack had ever seen. Wow, he whispered. The ladder went all the way up to the top of the tree. There at the top was a treehouse. It was tucked between 2 branches. That must be the highest treehouse in the world, said Annie. Who built it? Said Jack. I've never seen it before. I don't know, but I'm going up there, said Annie. No, we don't know who it belongs to, said Jack. Just for a teeny minute, said Annie. She started up the ladder. Annie, come back! She kept climbing. There's our treehouse. Jack sighed. Annie, it's almost dark. We have to go home. Annie disappeared inside the treehouse. Annie! Jack waited a moment. He was about to call again when Annie poked her head out of the treehouse window. Books! She shouted. What? Jack asked. It's filled with books, Annie said. Oh, man. Jack loved books. He pushed his glasses into place, and he gripped the sides of the rope ladder, and up he went. In Chapter 2, The Monster. Jack crawled through a hole in the treehouse floor. Wow, the treehouse was filled with books. Books everywhere. Very old books with dusty covers, new books with shiny bright covers. Look, you can see far, far away, said Annie. She was peering out the treehouse window. Jack looked out the window with her. Down below were the tops of the other trees. In the distance, he saw the Frog Creek Library, the elementary school, and the park. Annie pointed in the other direction. There's our house, she said. Sure enough, there was their white wooden house with the green porch. Next door was their neighbor's black dog, Henry. He looked very tiny. Hi, Henry, shouted Annie. Shh, said Jack. We're not supposed to be up here. He glanced around the treehouse again. I wonder who owns all these books, he said. He noticed bookmarks were sticking out of many of them. I like this one, said Annie. She held up a book with a castle on the cover. Here's a book about Pennsylvania, said Jack. He turned to the page with the bookmark. "Hey, there's a picture of Frog Creek in here," said Jack. "It's a picture of these woods." "Oh, here's a book for you," said Annie. She held up a book about dinosaurs. A blue silk bookmark was sticking out of it. "Let me see it." Jack set down his backpack and grabbed the book from her. "You look at that one, and I'll look at the one about castles," said Annie. "No, we better not," said Jack. "We don't know who these belong to." But even as he said this, Jack opened the dinosaur book to where the bookmark was. He couldn't help himself. He turned to a picture of an ancient flying reptile, a pteranodon. He touched the huge bat-like wings. "Wow," whispered Jack. "I wish I could see a pteranodon for real." Jack studied the picture of the odd-looking creature soaring through the sky. "Ah!" screamed Annie. "What?" said Jack. "A monster!" Annie cried. She pointed to the treehouse window. "Stop pretending, Annie," said Jack. "No, really," said Annie. Jack looked out the window. A giant creature was gliding above the treetops. He had a long, weird crest on the back of his head, a skinny beak, and huge bat-like wings. It was a real live pteranodon. The creature curved through the sky. He was coming straight towards the treehouse. He looked like a glider plane. The wind began to blow. The leaves trembled. Suddenly, the creature soared up, high into the sky. Jack nearly fell out the window trying to see it. The wind picked up. It was whistling now. The treehouse started to spin. "What's happening?" cried Jack. "Get down!" shouted Annie. So pictures. Here's that pteranodon and this big dinosaur. She pulled him back from the window. The treehouse was spinning faster and faster. Jack squeezed his eyes shut. He held on to Annie. Then everything was still. Absolutely still. Jack opened his eyes, and sunlight was coming through the window. There was Annie, the books, his backpack. The treehouse was still up high in an oak tree. But it wasn't the same oak tree. And we're going to put a pause in it. And we will start tomorrow with chapter 3. So we read chapters 1 and 2, and tomorrow we will read chapters 3 and 4. So it's kind of crazy, right? Their treehouse, well, it wasn't their treehouse, but they found a treehouse and they found some books, and then something crazy happened. They saw a dinosaur, and they ended up in another tree. What do you guys predict is going to happen for tomorrow? I want you to think about that. What do you predict is going to happen next? I also asked you at the very beginning, I said, who is Mary Pope Osborne? She's the author. What does the author do? You should have thought to yourself, if you got the answer, if you knew the answer, that she's the person who writes the books, then you are correct. Awesome job. I hope you guys have an awesome day, a fabulous day. I will talk to you tomorrow. Goodbye.